Hey everyone, Eddie Campos here with RE/MAX Preferred Associates, and thanks for tuning in to Coffee with Eddie. This is episode 84, and if you look around in the background, you can see that we are in a fabulous new building. We're over at Rossford Schools, and this month we're interviewing Dan Krebs with Rossford Schools to see what's new in Rossford. So Dan, thanks for welcoming us into this magnificent building. This is just phenomenal. So I'm gonna ask you a question that you probably heard over and over again the past year. What's new here?
That's a great question. I love being asked that question. Virtually everything in the district over the last couple of years, as some may know, we've undertaken a significant several construction projects with successful passage of a bond issue. It started out a couple of years ago with our transportation depot or transportation garage. We rebuilt that at the eastern corner of this particular property. We completed that, and then we started a simultaneous building project that includes this building now completed, which houses our preschool to 5 students. We have a brand new football stadium at the downtown campus. And in January, we will be opening a new 612 campus down there that will also have a wing of that includes all of our Board of Education offices and central office administration. So at the end of this, we will have redone the district entirely.
That's amazing. So who was involved in the planning stages and developing all of this?
Well, I'll tell you, the board, I must say, built a great team. So we had a facilities committee made up of several community members that were also involved, along with 2 members of the board that built, chose our architect, our construction manager, as well as we have an owner's rep on the project. So they were an instrumental part of that. And then when our architects came on board, one of the things that really appealed to us from the collaborative and TMP was a partnership. The architects was, we want to seek the input of your students and your staff. That was a big part of it as well.
The people that are using the facility.
The people that are using the facilities, and really, there was also a student feedback element, and that also was really an important part for us in determining how these facilities were going to look into the future. With that important element of students, certainly having our students and our staff and our community involved in those decisions. So there was a whole process before, even the architectural plans were drawn, where that feedback was solicited from those groups in multiple meetings. And we found great value in the information that we received from those groups that resulted in, this being one of the buildings.
And probably a hidden benefit is with the community, the students, the teachers, and everyone involved, there's probably some ownership that's probably taken place in everyone.
Absolutely. This traditionally has been a community like many others where we feel that the school system is kind of the heartbeat of the community, so to speak. And this community is certainly one of those communities. So we know there's always been a great sense of pride in the school system here and a sense of belonging. So we knew at the outset it was very important to get the feedback from those stakeholders.
So lots of new changes, new name for this building, correct?
Correct. So this building was originally called Glenwood Elementary, and as part of the design, we determined there was an addition built to the former Glenwood Elementary in 1981. And as part of a cost savings approach, we knew that the integrity of that portion of the building was very, very good, and that it could be completely renovated on the interior at a reduced cost as completely new. So that portion of the building was preserved. The balance of Glenwood Elementary, which I believe was built in 1929, either 27 or 29, was determined to not be, useful for future learning opportunities. So that part was raised. And you see this new 66,000 square foot addition added to that other piece. But I think, again, the architects did a great job blending that and considering that it's a new chapter for the community and for the student body, we chose the name Rossford Elementary to look to the future with.
Yeah, and I think it probably helps bring together that sense of community. So some of the new things I noticed is, I don't know if they pointed out to you, but your chalkboards are missing. So it's touch boards now, or smart boards?
Yeah, so I'm very glad you brought that up. That was another part, again, going back to the feedback, is we needed 21st century learning spaces, and along with that is the advances of technology. So we put what are called clever touch boards in each classroom. They're touch sensitive. They are much like a smart board, but touch sensitive. We like to commonly refer to them as smart boards on steroids, that open up a whole new world of learning opportunities for our students and for our staff to be able to deliver that instruction. It's a deliberate part of preparing our students, that next generation of learning,
Sure.
for what they're going to encounter in the workforce, as we know that's where everything is moving, and we wanted to make sure that we put the tools in place to make that happen. On top of those clever touch boards, then we have every student has a Chromebook, which is a mini laptop. Right?
Yeah, we saw the charging stations on our tour.
Right, so we built those charging station, again, part of the design, looking ahead, making sure every student has their own learning device in the classroom, and some of the flexible learning spaces that you see throughout the building. We wanted the flexibility if a small group goes out to work in the hall or work on a project in one of those spaces, that they again had that portable technology to take along with them that can also be synchronized to the clever touch board in the classroom.
That's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for taking the time today to be able to meet with us.
Sure, absolutely, glad to do it.